Kia ora, welcome Cancer. Thanks for joining me. This is your reading for the full moon Taurus, full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse. It might be worthwhile for some of you out there to check out the last lot of readings on the new moon that came out on the 6th of October, and we've been in this sort of sandwich time, the in-between time, which has been very pulling all our hearts out, really, hasn't it? On a collective sense, when we see very kind of clearly what the level of conflict in the world at this current time. But there is conflict everywhere, isn't there? Even in generally speaking. But let's get into it, Cancer. See what is happening. We clarify. If you haven't joined me before on this channel, we always clarify with a few other decks. We've got a rock mineral crystal, which I'm pulling for you face down right now. And we will take that, pull it up at the end of this reading. So let's get into it, Cancer, for you. Let's see, coming out pretty clearly here. Just, yeah. And that. Right. I'll shuffle one more. As I say, one more for good luck. Okay, Cancer. Let's see. We come out, Cancer, with the Hierophant. I often think of the Hierophant as a mentor of sorts. So we get given a key here. There is sort of an inheritance of sorts in this card. And we see this as the Pope, as it used to be, you know, the head of the spiritual world on this earth. And I guess, well, now it's a little bit different, isn't it? We can seek for ourselves. We are not railroaded, ideally, into a belief system, though that, amongst many other things, can be inherited. Anyway, Cancer, spiritual information. I'm not talking about religion. It's for you and for you alone. And you have access to that at this time. What it's giving you. If this resonates, if it doesn't, just leave it. Look at any other titles here on this channel, any other for that matter, that you resonate with. What's happening here is a healing. In the Star, this is the Star, a beautiful card. We are mixing the waters. We feel a very strong connection between ourselves here planted on this beautiful earth and the wider cosmos, the wider collective. Hence probably why I was mentioning what I was at the beginning of this reading. So it's a beautiful surrender. It is a healing card. You have some more information than what you didn't have before. And this relates to you and your view, your way of seeing. We've got the card of hard work, 8 of discs. You know, there's a lot involved, many streams of things involved in the creation of these beautiful petals. They're very protected until they're presented out into the world, until you're happy with your work. You're perfecting something here. We then come to a tricky dicky. All the sevens are about assessment, and we have the 7 of Swords here. Can be a difficult card because, why? Now, we have all these archetypes that some are universal and some are individual. And in some ways, the Seven of Swords represents one of those archetypes. It's a saboteur card to a large degree, and it's a card whereby we go about, whether consciously or not consciously, go about getting what we want. They call it sometimes a thief in the night. The thing about that thief is that they take 5 swords and they leave 2, just in case they want to go back. Now, 2s represent decisions. 2s represent choice. Now, this could be something to do with Cancer, with aspects of your own process, but it can also be someone in your life that operates in that fashion. So let's go through or clarify. It's funny, I just had the 2 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Let us go back to the beautiful Hierophant. The Hierophant, this mentor of sorts, maybe a spiritual advisor. A spiritual advisor would be very, very, very beneficial for everyone, I think. I mean, seriously. Okay, now we're getting a bit of stubbornness going on. Spiritual advisor. Spiritual information. How does that come through for us? I guess it depends how we see it. We get the 4 of Swords coming out. Now, I liken the 4 of Swords to allowing ourselves, for one thing, clear space. I also see it in a physical sense as a kind of chamber of beautiful light, white chamber with the breeze running through it, where we really take time out. We allow our mind to wander. We allow sleep. We allow respite and rest. And within doing that, Cancer, we receive very useful information. Now, we're continuing here with this healing. And often the 4 of Swords can simply be that. But we're looking at the star. What is the star? Oh God, everything's going all over the place. What is the star for Cancer, please? The star. Indeed, it is about healing. It is about freeing oneself up a little bit, Cancer. We are in the star stripped back naked because we don't have anything to hide. We don't have anything to hide. We have the Page of Swords, an adolescent learner, and primarily in this deck, I always feel this so strongly, that primarily he is going about learning about the machinations of power, how people use that, theirs, how groups use it, how we all use it, and how strongly it's connected with our self-esteem. But we need to learn, don't we? And we do learn. Sometimes it's a hard learning. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we're at a point where occasionally we get reminded of it. And we feel it when we are maybe not using our... Well, actually, we really feel it when we feel that we've lost our power, don't we? We really feel it. And it's sort of like we feel like we've let ourselves down in that. I do feel it physically. Anyway, Cancer. So we've got this rest and respite where we receive a lot of insight here. We have the Star at healing. We've got nothing to hide, stripped back naked. We're actually very strong in that card, in the Star. We're thinking about power and how it's used. We somehow release ourselves here. We get the Fool. We're able to envisage a new journey that's unencumbered, and we're actually quite prepared to take that risk, Cancer. So what's the Eight of Wands? Eight of Discs for Cancer, please. The Eight of Discs for Cancer. There's something about this whereby what you are doing, whether it's work, self-generated work, whether it's working in whatever area you work, whether it's working your household, somehow I do think you're seeing things slightly differently, Cancer. And that's, what's the word? That's informing a sort of new approach to doing what you do, to doing your work, whatever that happens to be. To clarify that 8, we have the Hermit. So, you've got the Hierophant, you've got the Hermit shining a light inside there, going on a little hermit's journey. But you've got a new, I would say it, a new level of power, personal power. And you're seeing the impact of your workings around you, and that's informing you. It's almost spurring you on in a new way, if that makes any sense. So what's the 7? 7 of Swords. Could be an aspect. It could be an aspect of your own personality that you are, here we go, that you are coming to grips with, because we all have that sort of saboteur, can be a little bit manipulative. We do it sometimes without really being that aware of what we are doing. It is a habit, Now, what am I doing here? So we're looking at the 7. It's quite 7 of Swords for you, lovely Cancer. This is about a new way forward. I mean, new information on board, taking time out for yourself, giving yourself that care. Healing, surrender, ridding any levels of shame at this time, largely, usually, about the past. We see we can move forward in a different way, that we're not bound by the same kind of, whether it's a mindset, whatever it is, circumstances, we're not bound by those things anymore. We're seeing in a different way aspects of ourselves, understanding new things. We are moving forward, and we're moving forward. We're not stopping. We're continuing. We're producing work along the way. And there's nothing in this 3 of Wands that can put us off. We know the path. We can see it. We're on it. With that, interestingly, as I said earlier with that 7 of Swords coming up, traditionally the little figure, takes the 5 swords and leaves 2 swords just in case they want to go back and get them later. The 2 is making that decision, is making a choice. And we have that. To clarify, the 7 of Swords, we see this 2 of Swords. We are making a choice, and it's based on our learnings thus far, isn't it? About nature, what the nature of the sword is the mind. But in this particular card, it's a gut thing. So we're talking sword, we're talking power. It's like, can you work with me, kids? We're joining the dots here. Sword, power, machinations. Oh God, it's just like things coming in and out. Sword, power, the machinations of that, how we use it for ourselves, our physical feeling when we feel that we've lost some. And that's usually in what we've done if we've let ourselves down, and we've let ourselves down in doing that. If we feel it in our kind of gut, in our solar plexus. And we see this figure making a decision based on actually not what they see, but on what they feel. Let's just leave it at that. And get a pixie and fairy for a little bit of glimmer, Cancer, for you. We're starting to, sometimes it's like, there's a few narratives going on in a reading and one has to stick to one. Now, we all know when we let ourselves down. We all know that. So now, there's a speed of growth in your world, insights, big time info coming through, machinations, power machinations, shedding a level of shame. We've got it all in here. Been on a path, you know where you're going, you've become very conscious of certain aspects of your own self-sabotorial energy. And so we come to this point of realization and then making some new choices. Pixie and fairies give us Luathis the Wild. This is the power of an organic form to break through concrete. This is power plus. This is what power's about. You know what I'm saying? When we're looking at power dynamics, that is power. The organic plant which pushes itself through concrete. Luathis the Wild is about the strength of that growth, and that it is accumulated over a lifetime. If we, it is an accumulation of that, of insights and experiences, Cancer. And it's powerful, and there's no stopping it. There's no handbrake to that. We see this soul shrinker coming up in the middle, sandwiched between Luathis the Wild, and I'll pull that next card up in a moment, because the soul shrinker is something that exists within each one of us. And in this reading, I see that to be your little soul shrinker, and it's just shrinking itself at the moment because of all these amazing things that you are having insights. Solace, the light, light and truth always wins. And we don't have to look at it like a race, or a battle, but this beautiful solar force. What is the axis in this fiery wheel? The sun, the heart. We're at the heart of that, Cancer. It's pretty amazing. And rock mineral crystal, something you can carry with you during the week in your mind's eye, or if you have some, carry it with you in a pocket or on your skin. Blue topaz, it's very beautiful. Finding a spiritual ally. Now, I do believe that you have higher wisdom. I do believe, where are we? You have, with the gorgeous Hermit, abundance and forgiveness. Abundance and forgiveness and self-forgiveness and healing. So blue topaz for you, Cancer, on that note. Ka kite. Take good care until the new moon. And I must say, which I did actually note without saying, that we see a new moon. So check out the readings in the new moon. I think they might be maybe useful for you. We see a dagger in the 7 here. Or actually the central sword is piercing that new moon. And of course, we see a new moon here. So it might be good to look at the last new moon and also come back for that next new moon that we will be having. On that note, have a wonderful week and take care, Cancer.